Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and TradeFly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you'll need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm Army Piper, and I'm back. But hey, guys, Bitcoin setting a new all-time high yesterday. Just a little bit, just a little tiny bit through the top there, came back down. It is sitting currently at about $72,600, $700-ish. We'll go with that. Ethereum sitting at $3,900. Doge moving along with all the meme coins. Elon Musk making some comments about Doge being taken for Tesla. And we got some economic data that all came out today, guys. This is it. Class is in session. What is good, people? God, I missed everybody in here. I am glad to be back. I had a hellish week, but I'm back. I'm looking at the data. I'm watching the charts. I'm seeing if we're making money, and hopefully you are, because I am. And my meme coins, my #1 gainer right now. So getting some pullback today in the charts because of some economic data. We're going to be taking a look at all of that. But meme coins popping the hell off. So it's okay. Let's go. Let's get it. Guys, let's go ahead and bring up my co-host. I don't do this by myself. There's no way that I could. I do this with a team that just makes things happen behind the scenes and on camera every single day. So shout out to ZTS Rhythm, Crux of Crypto, and then these two guys right here. Bam, these guys. TradeFly and OC Guy. What is up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What is going on, man? Dude, I am so happy to have you back. It's like, it's almost liberating. So I'm stoked to get you back. We got the Backwards Hat Club going on. What's up, my guy? Let's do this today. Man,
I'm wearing grunt style, though. Do you see that?
I can't see that.
That's grunt style right there. That's right. That's right. Grunt style.
All right. Yeah, this is my hat's from Walmart. It was like $9.87 or something. So
I'm a crusty old vet, man. I got to wear some grunt style clothes, you know. Yeah, OC, what's up, bro?
Not much. Is very happy and excited to have you back. I mean, I think it's gonna be a crazy day today, and we got you. I mean, up and running from the very first minute. So nice to have you, brother. Welcome.
I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be back with everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to the alumni.
You know what I mean?
You guys are why I get up every day and do this, and I had to go take care of some family business. Hey, seriously, on a serious note here, listen to me. If you get anything from today's show at all, I want you to take this away. If you don't have a will in your family in case something happens, go get it done. It is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Probate court is going to set you up for failure, and lawyers are going to rape every penny they can out of you. Get a will. There's my feedback for today, guys. Get a will.
It's 2 Satoshis.
There's your 2 Satoshis. Shout out to Crypto Blood. Yeah, guys, it is someone said OC can't fit a hat on that hair of his. It's because it so you know how magnets push together and they'll push away? It's because cool hats on even more coolness, it pops off every time he tries to put one on. That's
what it has to be.
Except for his tinfoil hat, because that is metal, and so it just magnetizes. So there you go. Not that tin is magnetic. I know that. I passed science. Thanks. Guys, let's go and talk about some stuff here today. We have a lot of data that came in on the economic side today. I want to look at the meme coins and everything. But TradeFly or OC guys, you guys want to give some shout outs to the people, to the alumni in the chat right now?
Oh, yeah. Let's go check it out. Let's see who we got in the chat going on right now. It is the usual suspects. Jay, what's up, my brother? You are always first here, dude. We really appreciate you. Alexandra G, my lady, always sending hug emojis to you. Eric Wallen, maybe we'll show your chart today. I don't know. We'll see about that. Indie Rock Crypto, what's up, my guy? Joe, Trade Intuition. He's always giving me shout outs on the show. So much love back to you, my friend. Who else we got? Ninja Glock Glock.
Glock, glock.
All right. Henry Wallace, how you doing? Let's see. Who else we got? Blackie Chan. Trade Intuition already shouted you out. Crux, our man working in the background. Let's see. Crypto Trades. B Team Crypto. And I think Brian D about, Gia. I almost left out Gia. What's up, lady? How you doing?
Awesome. Let's go ahead and jump over into the macroeconomic data, because that is the important part to go over today. And then we're going to get into some TA, and we're going to sprinkle some news throughout the show. Okay, that's what we're going to do today. So, guys, let's get into some news. This is your daily news update brought to you by Decrypted.tax, guys. Decrypted.tax, our trusted tax official that does my taxes, does Crux's taxes, does our LLC taxes, knows crypto. He's a crypto attorney, and he's an accountant. So, like, what more could you ask for besides maybe a free consultation? Well, you can get that using the link down below in the description, and 25% off his services, guys. It is tax season. Call Ernest. Let him know that you're with the alumni. Let's get over here. There we go, guys. There's the crypto bubbles. Look at WIF. Jeez Louise. It's up 43% today, guys. We got Pepe up 14.1%. Doge up 10.6%. Bonk right there dancing with 20%. Solana still holding up quite well. It's up 10.5% for the day. Jupiter, that's another meme coin. It's up 8.9% today. Phantom, even up. A lot of just weird things that are up today still. But the one that is really standing out, these big, huge bubbles of funny meme coins. So there is what we have going on today. And why is that all happening? Well, that would be because of this data here. Guys, check it out. We got PPI data. What is PPI data? Well, I'm glad you asked, audience, because the PPI, the Producer Price Index, for the final demand in the United States rose. This is for demand, right? Rose by 0.6% month over month in February, making the largest increase since last August and surpassing those market expectations of 0.3%, guys. This is why we're seeing this happen. We were expected on the forecast and the consensus to be at 0.3%. We came in at 0.6%. Also, on top of that, we had retail sales. Now, this is a good thing. This is kind of a balance out of that PPI, but it was supposed to be 0.8, so it didn't quite meet the consensus. It beat the forecast, but this is retail sales. So retail sales are starting to come back up. That also, though, it shows strong economy, but it also leads to inflation, because you want to see retail sales pulling back if expenses are coming up, right, on price index. And then core PPI beating the consensus by 0.1%, and then matching the forecast there, guys. Previously, though, it was at 0.5, so core PPI coming down a little bit. If I remember right, core PPI does not include food and energy. Yep, excludes food and energy cost right there. So we had that. And then, but wait, there's more. We had initial jobless claims. So I know this looks good. This is our weekly unemployment claims, right? It was supposed to be 218,000, forecasted at 219,000, meaning we had more than 210,000. That's an increase of jobless claims, of people filing for unemployment. It actually came in below all of those. And that is not a good thing for markets, because it means that people are not losing their jobs as much as they thought they would. Retail sales are increasing, so people are buying, while the cost of goods is going up and beating expectations. That means higher inflation. So that's what we're seeing there on that. Matter of fact, if we jump over here, I got the fear and greed coming in at 88%. Actually, I just skipped something, didn't I? Let's get into the liquidations, guys. Got to see the liquidations. In the past 24 hours, 89,000. Oh, whoa, it just changed. 91,000 now were liquidated. The total liquidations coming in at $265 million. Largest single liquidation order happened on OKX. It was with Ethereum. It was for 5.8 million. So there you go. The fear and greed index, guys, coming in at a hot 88. That is extreme greed. But what I wanted to show you here is, Kabisi letter. Come give me that data. Give me that knowledge, Kabisi letter. He says, breaking February PPI inflation rises to 1.6%. These are breakdown numbers inside the numbers. Above the expectation of 1.1. Core PPI inflation was 2% above the expectation of 1.9%. Both CPI and PPI inflation are now officially back on the rise. Disinflation seems to be slowing. So can the Fed really pivot here? Great question, Kabisi letter. Appreciate that. And we will come back into more of this later on, I believe. Yeah. Oh, no, I did want to talk about this. This is a topic of discussion for my gang here. U.S. government dumps Bitcoin stolen from Silk Road. You guys remember this? Happened about a year ago. They sold their Bitcoin. Just so you know, they sold 9,800 Bitcoin for $215 million exactly 1 year ago. It's worth $700 million today. So there you go. Another example of governmental failure of the United States. Congratulations. Congrats. Give a one in chat if you think that the United States is the #1 handler of money in the world. I should see no ones in the chat right now, just so you're tracking. Guys, what do you think about that? Is that nuts? That's nuts.
Who did they sell it to? That's my question.
They sold it back on market.
Well, you would think
they just dumped it back on exchanges.
Over the counter, right?
Yeah, over the counter. But it still was a lot of activity on the blockchain, so it made a lot of people scared. And they, oh God, what's all this Bitcoin being sold off?
I wonder if BlackRock got in on it. I guess that's really
maybe they sold it to BlackRock so they could have their reserves. Who knows? But all I know is they sold it for $215 million, and it's worth $700 million today. So almost a 2x from where they sold it at. So
they did well with that.
Yeah. Good job. I love how they put Biden's face on the thumbnail though. Like Sleepy Joe had anything to do with the government selling Bitcoin.
Hey man, these crypto news places, the anyone that's in the crypto space hearing Trump's comments, everyone's going to start hopping on that train now. Oh
yeah, well it's official. Like Biden and Trump are again our oldest candidates running for president ever in history, that beating the record set by Biden and Trump 4 years ago of the oldest candidates in history. So true story. Can't make this up. Let's go ahead and get into some charts, guys. Let's go take a look at let's look at Bitcoin. We'll come around to the meme coins in a second, but I do want to show you something. I did some math. I did some math on my chart. So shout out to Eric Wallen. It's the Wallen chart. It's back. I know you missed it, Eric. Let's take a look at what we got going on here. I told you guys we'd be heading to 77K if we held this golden pocket line. And guys, that's what we've done. We've held the golden pocket line. We did wick down below it, but you can see how strong this very old fib channel, almost 15 years old, is holding up pretty well here for support. And I do think that, again, we're heading for $77,000, $78,000 because that's the next level of the golden pocket. However, what I want to show you is if we bring this over here, this is on a daily. So I know it's normally on a weekly, but I literally set it up for a daily just for you guys. I want to go to, where is it? Is it in another chart? I think it is. I think I moved it to another chart. I did. Yes, I did. I want to show this here. I did a trend-based fib extension. It is not that one. Let me find it here. I promise I had this all set up last night. I promise you. I did a fib-based trend-based fib extension on here, and I may just have to redo it because I saw some very interesting stuff. Yeah, we'll just redo it. Come on. Let's go for a trip, guys. Let's go walking down memory lane, and we'll do this together, and you guys can see how this is done. So we're going to go and take a trend-based fib extension right there. Trend-based fib extension. Oh, no, you know what? I know where it's at. I think it's in here. Yeah, pre-all-time high fibs. There we go. Let's turn that off, and then check this out. Here we go. Let's bring this in. Let's isolate this off. Guys, so what I did is I did a trend-based fib extension, and I ran it from the previous all-time low to the new all-time high. So down here is the low, right here. Let's turn off all the chart prime. I did this last night. I got home. I got on my big screen here and was like, I'm back. I got my charts back. And so I did this low to this high and then down to the low of this cycle. And this did trend-based fibs. Here's the interesting part, guys. Look how well these played out on the trend base from the low to the high to the low of previous cycle to this cycle. And then look at the play out here on the 236 perfectly. We had a lot of play here in the 382, perfect rejection on the 50. You can go up here and see what happened with the golden pocket. Once we got through, we came back and retested the golden pocket, and then we retested perfectly on the 786. We're talking about a period here on these Fibonacci's playing out from well over 4 years ago. So, matter of fact, the first point of this Fibonacci is going all the way back to 2018. So, yeah, wow, like 6 years ago now, I guess. So, if you look at what's going on here, we are getting a lot of rejection right now on the 887, almost to the dollar of where it's rejecting at there. If we break through this 887 and we get above this and retest this as support, the first target goal is going to be the 1-to-1 at $81,000. Let's go look at the fib-based trends, because now we're going to be we're in price discovery, guys. We got to start using these trend-based fibs. Phase 1 golden pocket, phase 2 golden pocket, phase 3. You guys know how this works. Phase 1 golden pocket is coming in at $122,000. That's the first level. And let me go ahead and take my own advice here and lock my fibs before they move. But yeah, we're looking right here. Phase 1, that is 122. A phase 2 would put us at 188. So when I saw this and how well the base was building, I was very excited about these phases getting hit. And I got news for everyone out there. If you have watched our Bitcoin price prediction video, you will know that somebody on this panel right now called for an $80,000 to $90,000 Bitcoin. I'll give you a hint. He's all the way down at the bottom of these cameras. That would be a 1-to-1. So if we were to get a rejection, a top out rejection on the 1-to-1, it would be a new high, but it comes in at 81,400 on the 1-to-1 fib-based fib extension. So it's the numbers are there to support it, bro. But I think that we break it. We at least go to phase 2 in this cycle. That would be $188,000 Bitcoin, guys. Let's go. Let's go ahead and bring up OC. What you got for some charts, bro? Let's start getting into it.
Perfect. I'm looking at Bitcoin right here. I have some short-term scenarios here. I have three calculations for possible movements right before the halving event. And the first one, it's almost right there, right here at 74,221K. So, I mean, we are just a hair off before we touch those areas. So far, we're doing great. We're doing fantastic. Let's take a look at the other ones. I believe I have them right here. Yes, perfect. And then the next two ones are the previous movement here from bottom to high. And come on. And that goes all around 77. Yeah, it's just going away. Almost 78K. And finally, then I have 84K, which is the pole of this possible bullish pennant that was forming right here. So basically, I do believe that we can get all the way up to 84,000 and then facing maybe a rejection back at these areas right here, where we're seeing that we have somehow of oscillator maybe not moving as violent as we should be looking at or should be having. But yeah,
you said 84,000. That would give us a breakout above the 81,461. And if we got a retracement, I would say that it's probably going to be that 81,461 that it retraces back to confirm my 1-to-1 line as support, and then we head up to the phase 1 golden pocket at 122. So obviously higher time frame there, but yeah, I would love to see that break of 84,000 retest back down at that 81,400 range, and then sadly, we would be in the ballpark of crushing TradeFly's prediction. But hey, I love you, Trade. I love you. All right, what else you got, OC? You want me to go on to TradeFly?
Let's go on to TradeFly. I just had an alert on Quant, but let's take a look at that after.
Oh, he's looking at the liquidation heat map. We got to know this data. I forgot to go to this. He was supposed to say, Piper, go to my chart. I got data. I got alpha for you, Piper.
Fine. This works out beautifully. We're staying
with
Bitcoin.
It does. What you got for me?
Keeping that narrative going. I'm up for it. All right, so I got the liquidation heat map up, and this is on the weekly, just so you know, because it pulls a little bit more data in, and it's not, I like to look at the bigger picture. All right, you can see it's getting hot up in here. We got more than $1 billion sitting above the all-time high right now. So once you start getting up into the 74K range, all the way up to about 74.7, don't be surprised to see a wick to take out some of that liquidity. Just don't be surprised at all. However, what you're seeing right now, you can even see this on the heat map, and I'll show it to you once we open the chart too, but you can see this trend up and right. Look, it's following this area of support up and right. But now we're coming back down. Looks like we want to retest that area. This is a hot spot here. There's probably more than $1 billion of liquidity sitting in this area at about 65.8, 65.9. So keep that in the back of your head. And then you want to come to the charts and kind of like correlate this, like where does it line up, right? So you're coming back and here you go. So there is an area right here that is an area of support, and it also lines up with the 100-day moving average. And if this trickles down, what I could see is the dynamic reactor working its way up here. So you're finding some confluence up here in that range. So wouldn't be surprised if we came down and tried to visit that. But what we really need to look at right now is the trend is up and right very, very clearly. Now you can see we haven't really had closes under the 20-day SMA, but we are getting these wicks down to the 50-day SMA. And that would also correlate with this area of support at about 69K, previous all-time high. And that would then give you that confirmation that we flipped it from resistance into support. We already did get a touch. The thing I don't like looking at it right now, though, is you're getting consistently, this is on the 4-hour. Let's go ahead and go to the daily real quick, though, because what I'm not a huge fan of is, come on, load, baby, load. Well, there you go. Here it is. You can see that the RSI, it was overbought, and it's constantly kind of trending down and right now. Not a big fan of that. I would like to see it reset. That would be the preference here. So I could see a little pullback before we see continuation of the upside, but just want to visit that real quick, show you where the heat map kind of lines up with the charts.
Word. Appreciate that, bro. Hey, well, let's jump over here to my news real fast. I want to show this before we head back in the charts, guys. Bitcoin, we just got done talking about. Bitcoin's rally is creating around 1,500 millionaire wallets daily. So every day, about 1,500 people are creating wallets that have enough Bitcoin in them to make them millionaires. So 1,500 millionaires a day. So yesterday, 1,500 millionaires were identified in the blockchain world, guys. But that's not even the craziest part. The craziest part is that since October, crypto markets have added an incredible $1.8 trillion in market cap. In other words, crypto has added $13.5 billion per day for 5 months straight. And the craziest part is the number of millionaires created per day is still less than half of the 4,000 per day seen in 2021. So we're not even close to half. We're not even at the halfway point at all right now, looking at the number of millionaires being made. And I do want to touch on this because, this one, yep. Guys, Bernstein, this is a financial analytics agency. They predict crypto market cap could grow to 7.5 trillion by the end of 2025. This would be double of what we saw last cycle, more than double. An analyst at Bernstein have projected the overall crypto market cap could surge threefold by the end of 2025. Growth will be led by Bitcoin and Ethereum ecosystems amid unprecedented institutional adoption. So if you want to know how much that institutional adoption is, well, all you got to do is take a look at this, guys. And this is just one player in the entire game who is in competition to keep the number of Bitcoin relevant and in competition with what BlackRock has. MicroStrategy, Bitcoin hoarder, MicroStrategy jumped 7% after the analyst upgrade prices targets to $1,810. That's strictly based on the fact that he's buying so much Bitcoin, and there's a lot of momentum for that secondary exposure to Bitcoin through stocks. MicroStrategy, big winner right now on that front. So let's jump back to the trio cam, talk about this for a second, then let's go check out some alts, because it's not just Bitcoin making moves today. It's they're actually pulling back, getting a little pullback on the charts for that. We are getting meme coins popping off. So, but let's talk about this Bitcoin 7.5 trillion by the end of 2025. What do you guys think?
I mean, that would be absolutely amazing, and that would kind of trickle into the narrative that we've been talking about, that there's going to be a liquidity issue as well, right? Supply, demand, price, and everyone's kind of rushing in. And I think, in terms of the ETFs, we're just getting started. So people are still probably a little bit hesitant. But as, they keep hearing about Bitcoin, as they keep hearing all-time high, and now people are going to start talking about it in the office to be like, hey, I'm up 50% since the ETFs dropped. My portfolio is up 50%. Find me something that's doing that right now. Good luck. So I think that's going to ultimately kind of feed the narrative.
Yeah, Lunar Beach just said, shout out to LBC, by the way, to David over there. By the way, tomorrow, special guest on Piper Academy. Lunar Beach's crypto is going to be here. So shout out to him. But he did make a comment. He said, I saw that MicroStrategies was looking for another 500 million to buy more Bitcoin. Fact, bro. That is happening. So, yeah, OC, your thoughts on this real fast, and then we'll jump over. I see Lunar Beach is back there surfing the beach. What do you think about this this Bitcoin move that's going on? Are we going to see the total crypto market cap go to $7.5 trillion by 2025? And if it is from primarily from institutional inflow of Bitcoin and ETH, what does that do to the altcoins? What are we going to see with altcoins coming into this next year with that type of a market cap?
Well, the first thing I believe that we're going to be seeing that total market inflow, and it's going to be driven mainly by institutions. But I mean, do not underestimate retail, because the actual moving force still being at this point is still retail. I mean, whenever we can see the FOMO, we can see the news, they all are aimed to retail, because when retail gets together and aim for a position, I mean, we can absolutely demolish and move mountains. And I believe that we're going to be creating that same FOMO that we can see all across the main markets, where you see news talking about gold, when you see news about talking about oil, so on and so forth. We're going to be seeing again this kind of trickery playing on us. And of course, we're going
to. And OC is frozen.
Of course that we're going to be following the sun, right? I mean, gravity is a real thing, especially on the crypto market. But also just be careful, because we are not yet on altcoin season. I've been talking about that we were on a mini altcoin season right before the halving event. I believe we are on the vertex of ending on that altcoin season. And despite Bitcoin keep going up and all of the global icons keep also pushing up, we are going to be seeing less and less important and serious cryptocurrencies just mooning, because right now the tension will be set on Ethereum and Bitcoin, as with any other cycle before. And then we're going to be restructuring the top 100, and after the top 100, there we go, grab on, because meme coins are going to be a thing once again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, if you guys have gotten anything out of this show so far today, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new here, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, get notified every time we go live. And for you people out there that have an X account and love watching us every day, go ahead and share this with a friend. Sharing is caring. It helps us with the algorithm. We're trying to compete right now with some serious heavy players in this time slot, and sharing this out, you'd help us a lot. So let's grow the alumni. Let's jump over here. I want to show you guys this one thing before I jump into the meme coin charts. Meme coin rally despite pullback in a wider crypto market. And for you guys that don't know, the little thing that happened yesterday with Elon Musk and DOGE getting a nice little pump last night. It slowed down a little bit this morning. The other memes have started to go, but check this out right here. This is interesting. It is Elon claims that Doge will be accepted as a mean of payment to buy Tesla cars at some point, quote, at some point. But he mentioned Dogecoin was one of the drivers behind the meme coin rally during the last bull market. Tesla has yet to begin accepting Bitcoin payments after dropping them in 2021. Elon said he would do that again also in the future. So that little move right there made Doge have a nice little God candle last night. And then we got into all the other meme coins moving. So let's go ahead and jump in to that chart. And let's go ahead and see what we're looking at here on Doge and some of these other meme coins. Let's see, Doge, where are you? Come here, boy. Doge, there he is. Yeah, so this candle right here, this is yesterday when Doge, when Elon made the comment about Doge. And mind you, it didn't break any previous all-time high, but it definitely gave a move, broke all of this previous resistance right across here, and pretty much went right up to the delta median here, the predictive ranges from chart prime indicators. It looks like right now we could come back and retest this lower trade band, but I am watching for it to come up here and break this local high. Doge looking pretty good right now. We did get a downtrend arrow that printed right here, so it actually gave you indication that we were coming down, and we are starting to get some wicking going on here in a curvature of the top on the RSI prime. So it does look like it does have some pullback coming, but when we compare that to something like I don't know, Pepe, maybe. Pepe has broken its previous local high, getting a little pullback and retesting right now on the dynamic reactor. Very strong moving average indicator. We kind of have a little bit of a duck head going on here that OC likes to point out, but it's kind of elongated. So like maybe it's a goose reaching out for you. But right now we do have a red candle printing on the RSI prime, so this could be getting a little bit of cool off here. I'd like to see it just consolidate in this range. That would be nice for that. And then Bonk, guys, up 5.8% in the past 24, still not beating its local high, I should say, right now on the charts. Looking like Pepe is the winner there. And then we got Shiba Inu. Where's my SHIB? I'm going to bring that up real fast just to show what we're seeing there on it. Oh, that cock is not doing so good today. Cock's a little limp. Where is SNEC? Oh, SNEC's up 2.3%. And then the last one would be SHIB. Let's bring SHIB up here because SHIB and WIF are just crushing it right now. I don't even see it. I am blind to my charts right now. If one of you guys want to pull one of those up, since I can't find it, and we will get a look at those.
Which one are you looking for?
Either WIF or Shiba Inu, or both.
Well, I got WIF. You want to look at WIF?
Yeah.
There you go.
Give me
short
and
sweet, baby. Moonshot.
So Joe Biden, that's Joe Biden's favorite token, WIF.
Oh, I'm gonna take this off the list. No, man. I mean, it's had an exponential move up. It's hard to chart things like this once they have these big moves up. This is the daily candles too, so pretty crazy move up. I mean, you could totally see that pullback, and all you gotta do is look at the chart here. You see where this kind of turnover is. I mean, that's probably about a 50% pullback just in that area right there. So, I mean, nice little pullback here. It's no surprise. I'm not even gonna try to chart it for you guys, to be honest with you, because I don't want to lead anyone astray. We've talked about this. Anything that's low cap is very volatile. After these huge moves up, you got to wait for a significant retracement. So I would look for something once this develops a little bit more, which is the dynamic reactor. If we go into maybe like a 4 hour and it actually pulls back a little bit, there you go. That kind of shows you a little bit more. So you'd like to turn this area right here that was resistance into support. So look for a pullback maybe to somewhere in this range of about like 2.4 or so. That's going to be an area of interest. And then probably on the bottom side of this as well, very likely could actually fall back down into this range, just depending on the overall greater market. Obviously, news is not good. I would expect it'll probably pull back a little bit. And because it's going to be volatile, it could be a pretty harsh pullback. So we'll see. Be careful with this right now. It's already made its move up. I'm going to wait for it to find some kind of range and then find some kind of support before I start looking at getting into it again. And you can obviously see the confirmation here on the prime oscillator as well. Overbought. So again, that just biased for me, probably a little bit of a pullback.
Awesome. OC, what you got for us, brother?
I have Shiba Inu just pulled up in my charts. Let's take a look at something like this. So we were looking at these rooftop lines, and what is that? A breakout. I mean, we were looking at some areas in here. If TradingView wants to work, there we go. We were looking at some resistance areas. Nonetheless, it just went like hot knife through butter all the way up.
There's more.
Yeah, but wait, there is more. And guys, this is daily. So strap on there. So another thing that I was looking for, I believe yesterday or a couple of days ago, it was this big formation for a possible pennant. It seems like right now it is not so much a pennant, but it's going for more of a triangular pattern here. I'm going to be more ignoring this week just for now. But also bear in mind that I'm looking at two important areas on Shiba Inu. those areas are right here marked with those alarms are at zero, ton of zero, 39.27, and then tons of zero, 29.25. That is right now the range that I'm looking for to start moving downwards for me to enter for a possible long. Whenever I have flip of the ribbon, remember that's exactly what I'm looking for. I was expecting that flip of the ribbon to happen a little bit earlier, but it is elongating a little bit more. So I'll be just removing that and again just drawing back again something more realistic. So looking for that possible scenario, and I will be looking for two things: breakout on this trend line that I just updated on these two areas, and then finally these two are ranging areas for a definitely move, or basically just keep the most things. But yeah, Shiba Inu, there we
Shiba
go.
Inu. Awesome. Yeah, I want to jump over here and take a look. Guys, Dixie off of that economic news this morning. This is why we're seeing such a pullback in the markets, and it's happening with stocks and with crypto right now. It's this big blue candle, which would be green. It's a green candle. It's going to the upside. You can see we got a nice bounce here on the zero line, and I'm watching for about 103.29, 103.30. Going to be the trend assistant there for hopefully a rejection on that. And then later on in the afternoon, before market close, we start to get a rally back on these items. Usually these shakeouts last in the morning. So if you guys are looking for longs right now, I would be watching for support levels on these pullbacks that we do have, and then look for those support levels to be your entries for some longs. Because right now it does look like we're playing this out with the typical economic data report. Dixie pumps, everything goes risk off for a bit, and then later on in the day we do get that move. Just a quick reference of like what I'm talking about, like even MicroStrategies today, getting some sell-off today, guys. NVIDIA getting sell-off today, sitting there about the phase 7. Clean Spark getting a lot of pull-off. Hopefully this dynamic reactor in confluence with that golden pocket can give a little bit of support to Clean Spark there. And then Marathon, man, getting absolutely raped. We are sitting down in the platinum pocket right now, and it's not doing good. Marathon Digital doing bad. The one that I do want to show you real fast, and I'm going to jump down here to the bottom, and then because I'm not doing full TA on these, I'm just kind of running through some thesis for you guys on levels. It's going to be Tesla, and we're going to take a look at Tesla real fast. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here. Come here, stocks, TSLA. Because there is an article on Tesla that came out that I do want to point out to people. There we go. Tesla losing its golden pocket and getting a rejection. You can see it tried to get up there this morning, and then it lost that golden pocket, and it is continuing to the downside. That rejection of that wick also being the median line there of the trade bands. So we could at least be looking at coming down to 162. But the platinum pocket is down at 144. And the thing that I want to show you guys here real fast, jump over to this news. This is a quick article headline for you. Tesla slammed by Wells Fargo analyst predicting a bear case of $44 per share for Tesla. So real quick, let's talk about that, because are we starting to see, I don't know if you guys seen recently, there was this whole talk about the bubble that we're in inside of the stock market right now. Have you guys seen that article at all, or any of that stuff of how much of a comparison to the .com stocks are right now in the top 10 stocks?
You don't have to see an article to know it. Like, when NASDAQ broke its all-time high, I again, immediately I was kind of sketched out, because it didn't make sense that it's pushed up so high. Like why? So for me, it's like, okay, if I can't understand conceptually why something is so high, then it's probably going to pop. And that's why I told you I am now interested in looking at shorting NASDAQ, because I think ultimately it's got to pull back. And I'm not, maybe it's a bubble, maybe it's not, but things usually retrace off their all-time highs, or at least once they set a new high, like it's got to pull back, can't keep going up. So I am expecting, for it to pull back, personally. And there's just not, like, inflation's going up. Like, where are these numbers coming from that would drive the market? They're not printing money that I know of. So what's driving this? And I can't figure it out. That's what gives me a little bit of pause.
It is cause for pause, that is for sure. But I am going to tell you right now, if Tesla hits $44 a share, I'm backing the truck up.
You're
I
in.
might.
You're in.
I might even sell at that point. By the time it gets there, I might be taking some profit on crypto to slide over into Tesla for another run at $44. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Maybe, hey, Crux, put up a poll for us on Tesla. Something, with if it hits $44, would you take profit on crypto to buy some Tesla? Just interesting. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to OC, see what you got on your charts, bro.
All right, so well then at this point I have Ethereum because Ethereum is just breaking right now through this channel. It went right to this box of support that we've been analyzing from yesterday. This is a weak box, so I'm not expecting too much of our support here. And also we still have a little bit of way to go right down here. So we are still bullish. We have a consolidation of 8. That consolidation will absolutely start moving right now that we're visiting previous lows and maybe just breaking that range once and for all. It seems that we are making a new set of lower highs, but not there yet on lower lows, right? So we still need to break that area. If we start getting somewhere around 37 or 3,758 zones, so that's when I'm going to start calling for a possible reversal to the dynamic reactor. But so far, it's just reading my trend line here, and I'm watching it like a hawk. Let me just go back into the quant alert that we just had live ringing, and that is because it was getting right here into my support zone. One of my entries got executed at this point, and I'm already at at what is it, at gains or at wins. So hopefully you guys also look at this area of support and enter on this trade. So complete transparency, I just enter into a trade right here live. So be careful because we could still going a little bit farther back down. Nonetheless, I will be moving my stop to enter because I caught it somewhere around there at the center of that box, and I still have a little bit of a wiggle room. The next area of support, which I am actually expecting for a secondary entry, because this was a half of an entry. The next secondary entry will be somewhere around here at 127.9 or 128 for quant. Still looking for that entry, and then I will be averaging in my 2 zones. And important areas to look for, it is 145.9 in case we reach my previous target all the way up here to 152. Where do I get this from? Very easy, from the confluence of my support and resistances on chart prime right here. Look at that. Very easily, we can see where they're gathering together.
It's
So, yeah,
beautiful.
that's what I got. Trying it back to you guys.
Yeah, ZTS is around. He's just he's sitting over in another room right now because I took his computer away from him to be back live. So he's still around there. But I wanted to bring up Drew here real fast. Let me go ahead and bring up his chat because I wanted to address something that he said here, and it's a legitimate point. But what I will say is, and I actually just heard a whole conversation take place about this right here last about 2 weeks ago. And he said, when the whole market is relying on 7 stocks, shit isn't right. That is true. However, I will tell you, in the past couple of months, those big 7 have started to pull back. The Tesla, obviously NVIDIA made a lot of distance there, but Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft, they all started pulling back. Meta, they all started pulling back. And we actually saw the influx that's keeping the markets making new all-time highs from the commodities sector, lumber, construction goods, stuff like that. So the money is flowing over to other sectors now and not becoming so reliant on the big 7. Just a little piece of knowledge that always always helps to have because knowledge is profit, and that's what we do here. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm keeping my ear out there listening, and I did see that there were a lot of the other sectors starting to pick up the weight as those big 7 were pulling back. So TradeFly, let's jump over to your charts, bro.
Right on. This is going to be pretty quick. Just looking at Polygon on the 4-hour. And I mean, we've just been covering it. In this channel, it's still in play. The trend is your friend. We've been talking about this for probably about a week now, and it's honored it pretty much all the way up here. We've gotten as high as about 128, maybe 129. And look at this. I mean, I talked about this yesterday. So this was the 4-hour, which means this right here, this touch wasn't here. So if you follow this, trend line all the way up and right could have been a good area to potentially short. And then it also had overbought with a little bit of bearish divergence. So things that you like to see line up on a chart when you're making a quick play, maybe a scalp trade or intraday trade. And now it's pulling back, and it pulled back pretty quick. And it did find the area of support right here, which we had labeled as well at 118. Remember our call, right? When we said, hey, it was going to come up to about 117, 118 based on that cup and handle, and that was going back and looking at previous support or resistance. That's kind of what made me draw that horizontal line across, and where I was like, hey, this is kind of our target area. Well, now what we really want to see is it confirms that this is now support, right? We get that confirmation, and all that does is open the door up for continuation to the upside for maybe another try at this line right here, this trend line that's going up and right. And that would then put us up maybe about 130. So this is kind of a scalper's or intraday trader's dream right now, because we're in a range. We've identified a range, and it's honoring that range. Now, be careful. At some point, it's bound to break out. But, here nor there, as of right now, it's honoring this range. And there's a little bit of confluence down here as well. So if this all lines up, I could very well see it pull back again. If this 50-day moving average keeps moving to the right, then you start building up confluence. As you push up, you bring up the dynamic reactor, you bring up the 100-day. You might have a big area of confluence building up right around about 118. And this could send it up and right as the narrative continues for Polygon MATIC.
Nice. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look. We had a request for NEAR. So let's go ahead and pull up NEAR protocol. Saw that in the chat there from Blocky Chan. He wants to see some NEAR. So let's do some NEAR. Let me pull it up. Let's get it. If you guys got anything you want to see, we got a couple more minutes here that we can pull up some stuff. Just let us know in the chat, guys. We'll pull it up and knock it out. Looking at NEAR protocol here, you can see these nice little clean levels that we're making. We had one here, nice little downward channel that we were in, and then we got a break above it. Had another one here, got a break above it. Let me go ahead and straddle that draw control. We'll do them dirty. Little breakouts, right? We had another one here. Look, guys, we're retesting it right now. It looks like NEAR is ready to go again, and you can see here on the oscillator, we are starting to get to that pinch. We did cool off down to the 30. I'd like to see this come a little bit lower before it comes up, but maybe this candle closing down on that line, on that little channel line right there would be good for us. Another move to the upside. What is the previous ranges? And let's go do some fibs on this and see what we can find with some fibs. There you go. Isolate for me, bro. Let's go. Let's go and do a little trend-based fib. I need daily. Real time, guys. Here we go. Let's go over here, grab the fibs, and then we're going to lock it right there. And then we're going to come down there. Yeah, looks like 382 right now is our current resistance on this also. And then if we look at this on the 4 hour, we'll see how that's playing out there. Stretch it out. There we go. It is that, literally that 382, that is our break above it. I would say that if we hold where we are right now with that breakout that we have, and then, maybe get a little cool off here for those oscillators that I just showed you, can get a little more cool off, but it does look like the Oscillator Pro going to give us that flip to the upside again. We are going to be looking at making new prime ranges here, predictive ranges. So these predictive ranges will reprint because we will break that top frame, and then we'll have a whole new one. That delta median, when these reprint, guys, that delta median normally will get hit, and it should be somewhere in this range right here at about $8.93. I would guess, based on the size of these. I've watched it long enough to know how these lay out. But that would also give us a break above 382. So maybe we get up there on the 382, break above that, hit somewhere around that delta median on the new predictive ranges, come back for a retest of that for prove it as support, looking at that 50 at $10.40 on NEAR protocol. If we do drop to the downside, be watching for this trend assistant coming in right here at the top trade band. That's coming in at about $6.61. So that's what I got there for you on that, man. Let's go ahead. Guys, we got a poll up right now. Says, will Tesla be in your take profit strategy for crypto? Currently 52% said yes, stonks. 48% saying no, too much downside. So there you go. Let's go ahead and jump over to OC and see what you got, OC.
Perfect. Right here I have INJ. INJ also hit my alert Recently, basically today in the morning at midnight, right here, we were looking at this support area for a little bit of a range, and we just had our first bounce of that range. Also, let me just zoom in. If you look at that, beautiful, almost perfectly touching that area, ringing my alert at let's see, crossing 4710. So where's 4710? Here we go, perfectly. Look at that beautiful touch. Then going back up, secondary touch, and then we're still going for that flip of the rebound as expecting here. I'm just gonna be just slightly tuning it up in here just to compensate for whatever is happening in the market and do a little bit more of a smooth curve. I do plan to hit this top area. Let's take a look at my alert. It is at 53.12, and also I'm going to be adding another alert at 47.22 or 47.10, whatever you guys like. Somewhere around those areas. So I am looking closer at this ranging zone and a possible target from this on the daily. Let's take a look at this possible bull flag. It is all the way up to 61.66. All right. Remember, this is gonna depend on Bitcoin's gravity, and also not because this is a target, it means that you should be longing at any point. Since as you can see, it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. We do have pullbacks, right? And off we go without, but not before having a secondary retest. And off we go, and again, not before having a secondary retest, and off we go. So look for those retests for possible entries, not financial advice, but again, 47.10, 47.22, good entry point for longs, and then watching the top at 53.15 to take partial gains, and then pushing our trailing strategy to the upside. So that's what I got on INJ, moving very, very nice. And just to wrap it up on my side, everything is starting to start or flipping from red to slightly green, like BNB, HNT, AVAX, Floki, ADA, MACAR, and Shiba. That, I mean, today in the morning, everything was red. Now starting shifting on colors.
Yep, that's what I said. That economic data does that. It does a little shakeout, and then everything just starts to rally back up again. So there you go. TradeFly. I heard in a song once that TradeFly, get the soul train ready. You got that, bro?
That's it. Whoop, whoop. All right, man. Let's go ahead and look at SOL on the weekly. So we definitely talked about this area quite a bit. We did. It looks like a bull flag on the weekly, which is wild. So you saw that formation. You saw a little bit of volume build up here in this area, just kind of coinciding with an area of support. And this thing just really just started taking off. Now, weekly, obviously, this is kind of a zoomed out view of it. Couple areas that we had of resistance, and it's really just kind of blown through it. Like you see, it got up here, a little bit of a pullback, but you can see on the week. So again, take this into consideration. It is the weekly, so these wicks really mean something. Those are days typically that you're seeing these wicks on the weekly. But the reason I bring up the weekly is like we got to see where this thing can actually go. And it's funny, like when you look at this area right here, which was resistance, now support, there's this gap, right? So you look for these gaps in volume where it pretty much has, I'm not going to say an unimpeded move up, but it makes it a lot easier for it to move within these areas. And sure enough, I mean, look, it just moved right up, and you can see coming back left on the chart. Now you see an area of resistance, area of support, and that's further confirmation right here. But look, there's not a whole lot of volume here. However, I'm still expecting to see some sort of rejection in this area, and it looks like it might have already started, but I'm not saying we're not going to continue to push up here because SOL has just been absolutely ripping. So I'm going to bring it up on the daily, kind of bring that up, see, what we're seeing on the charts here. And now it's starting to line up a little bit more. So let's go ahead and turn those off, the old chemtrails.
I want to point out real fast too, even on the weekly and on the daily, that prime score is still sitting at a 9, guys, with 0 consolidation. That 9 prime score means that it is still continuing the trend. 10 is the highest. It's a unicorn. We've never seen it. When you see 9s, that is a super strong continuation of the trend right there. So, yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's hard to say that this thing's going to pull back at all. And even further confirmation when you come down the weekly and you start looking at the prime oscillator or the RSI, that's kind of going up and right. And it even reset, right? It flipped. It started moving up and right again. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it actually get into an overbought situation again, especially when something's ripping. and then actually really go up to about that one. I mean, we're pretty close now, just looking at it right now. So about 175 to 180 really is where that's kind of my next level of seeing some sort of resistance. And so we'll see. I mean, for me personally, if you're in there, congrats. I'm not going to long right here because you guys know how I like to do it.
Oh,
I
come
like
on,
to see
man.
it.
DJing. Let's go, bro. DJing.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Are you scared? Are you scared, brother?
Yeah, you call me what you want. You guys can call me what you want. But rule number one in TradeFly strategy, protect your money, man. So that's
No,
what I'm
true
gonna do right
facts,
here.
bro. You were doing the right
Yeah.
thing. You were doing the right thing.
So looking at this on the daily, right? Actually, let's go to the 4 hour. Let's break it down a little bit more. So you can already see a little bit of rejection. But what you want to do is you want to get over this area, right? So you want to get over 180 because that's kind of an area that we've identified. If it breaks through that area, then you want to see it come down and do that retest, right? Because we've already moved up. Like you're going to see this over and over again where something has moved up exponentially. Like it's the things like this that you're looking for that when it comes down and tests something like a 200-day on the 4 hour or the dynamic reactor, like these are the areas that you're really looking for, right? These are the areas, and this is followed right by seeing a little bit of bearish divergence, price moving up, RSI moving down, and then we had that breakdown. This is probably the Coinbase one, if I were to guess, just by looking at it, because it had that nice drop down. But like these are the areas you're looking for, like set alerts around here, set alerts around the 200 days, set alerts around the dynamic reactor, and try to make those plays. Like we don't want to wait till we get up here at resistance and then say, let's go long. Like that's just not smart, right? So you want to see something like this where it comes up, it breaks through this area of resistance, it comes down for the retest, you get multiple retests, that's cool. And then we start moving up again. Like that's a little bit safer. But I'm going to be fully transparent. Like looking at this right now, if I were to see these multiple retests right here and I'm on the 4 hour and I see the RSI going down, I'm not in. Like that's not a setup for me that I would enter, even though it was respecting this area of support. I'm always looking for a trend of the RSI to be up and right. It's a personal strategy for me before I enter into a trade. I need to see it on the top side of resistance or on the bottom side of the resistance. I need to see it breaking down on the RSI, or I need to see it on the top side of support right now. But I want to see the RSI trending up before I want to make that move. Now, the other places, again, dynamic reactor, 200-day, this is areas that you're going to look at. And then like you see right here, this tells you, hey, this is about to flip the other way. And sure enough, it popped off. But, just personal strategy for myself, not financial advice. Everyone's got their own thing, their own strategies, their own way of doing things. But this would be, my personal thing. Right now, I'm not messing with it. Did I give you some areas to actually look for? So here you go. Here's one. All right, 143. All right, if we pull back, 143 is definitely an area to set an alert, right? Because you can see there's really a range here. You see this range right here? There is resistance, there is support. So there is definitely a range between 132 and 143. So set an alert in this area, and that kind of coincides with the dynamic reactor and the 100-day moving up and right. Let's look at a high side. Let me give you a number for the high side real quick, just so you have something to look-see at, just in case. Look at that. That's funky. Let me get rid of that. That just looks
funky.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say what I just thought in my mind because we'll get in trouble. All right. Anyways, if it moves up, like it continues to move up, this is your next stop. This is clear as day. All right. Because you're on the weekly. So let's go ahead and make this a non-permissive color. You can see right here, there is resistance and there is support. Now, this is the weekly. So these are significant. That means there's multiple tests of this area right here at 201. And guess what that coincides with? Psychological number. You know how big I am on those. So I would look for a harsh rejection in that area at about 200.
Nice. Real fast, I got about a minute left. I want to give you guys a trade setup. We're looking at Casper right now. Guys, we are breaking the phase 7 golden pocket here. You can see all of these wicks have closed on that phase 7 golden pocket. That would be the 7.618 candle coming down right now. I'm watching a couple of things here on this for the trade setup, and I'll try to get through these numbers as quickly as possible so we can wrap this up. Throwing a fixed range volume profile on here. You can see we lost the point of control. losing that point of control. That was a resistance for us, rejecting off of that. Our value area low would be the next price in play. That's coming in at about 13.5 cents. Also coinciding right there for confluence on top of the dynamic assistant, the trend assistant. And then also we've got the lower frame. That's that purple line right there of the predictive ranges. I do have a T-box down there. It's been there for a while. That is the phase 6. That is coming in at 12.8 cents. If we come down and we lose that value area low, I would look at your second entry down here. So first one is going to be 13.5 cents. Second one is going to be around the 13 cents to 12.8 cents. And if we lose that, guys, we don't have anything again until literally down here at this peak at about 12.6 cents. But you can see, looking here at these little mountains, we do have one coming in right here. That's 14 cents. So 14 cents, 13.5 cents, 12.8 cents. That is your 3 levels that I'm watching there. We are getting very cooled off here on the oscillators, getting back down into that bullish zone. RSI touching on that 30%. This looks primed to pick up another run to the upside at those levels. So that's what I wanted to pull off there, man. TradeFly, OC, it's about that time. It's about damn time. Can you guys give a little outro to the alumni?
Hey, man, you know what? Thank you, everyone, for showing up. But most importantly, Piper, I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad.
Until next week when I'm in St. Thomas, but I will be going live most of the days while I'm down there. I'll just be doing it from the beach probably with Mai Tai in hand every morning.
I would
Bloody Mary. I'll start my day with the Bloody Mary for the alumni.
Yeah.
OC, what you got,
Guys,
bro?
there's 40 of us. Absolutely. Guys, there's 40 of us watching right now. There's 36, there's 35 likes. Please hit that like button. And remember, if you hit that like button, your wife won't get mad when you make all the shower wet. So hit that like button. And guys, let's take a look at it and let's rate another server. Piper, turning it back to you, brother.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. We'll be back here tomorrow morning live. A special guest, LBC, in the house. Guys, get your news, your charts, your markets right here on Piper Academy every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.